We have seen the prototype of the 5th generation fighter stealth jet, which was presented to us as AMCA. But now the government says that it will not be Hindustan Aeronautics Limited that would be making it, but it would be the private companies. You might be stuck up on the thought that why private companies? But rather you need to think about that how this is a transformation for the whole defense manufacturing ecosystem, where we are moving towards innovation, enhanced defense, and also much more assured national security. This is not about HAL, this is not about private companies, this is about India's evolution in terms of defense manufacturing. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and in today's session we are going to understand that why exactly the government has opened up the doors for private companies in the AMCA program, why it was important, what was lacking in HAL's manufacturing, and so much more. So let us begin with understanding that what exactly has happened as of now, that we have started discussing it. So as of now, Indian government has invited private companies to build AMCA. What is that? Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. When I have to explain you AMCA, you have to understand that this is India's first indigenous 5th generation stealth fighter jet. That means this is a dream come true for India, where we wanted to build world-class stealth fighters on our own, ensuring no dependence on foreign entities whatsoever. So in this context, when we are talking about AMCA, this is the first time that we are seeing that the prototype has been generated. Now when we are looking towards manufacturing, it is the first time that the government has opened the door for private players. And this has come through a renewed project that is going to be of worth 15,000 crores, and as of now there are 3 shortlisted companies. We have Tata Advanced Systems, we have L&T BAL Dynamatic Consortium, and third we have Bharat Forge BEML Data Pattern Consortium. And furthermore, what we get to see that Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is not only the one which is leading the prototype competition phase. So the prototype competition phase has also been opened. I understand that this shifts the conversation towards the fact that are we moving away from PSU-led dominance in the defense manufacturing? Yes. But the question, more important question here is why and what will it bring into the picture? So for that, we also need to have a little bit conversation on understanding that how HAL has played a very important role in India's aerospace journey, and then maybe we can look into where it has been falling short. So if you look at Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, it has contributed immensely. It has been the one which has manufactured Tejas light combat aircraft. Again, an indigenous production. The license production of the Russian counterpart, we get to see of Sukhoi 30 MKI. The development of LCH light combat helicopter, advanced light helicopter that goes by the name Dhruv. All of this has happened at the hands of HAL. Apart from that, we also get to see the upgrade of Mirage 2000, Jaguar, MiG aircrafts, where we have a foreign import dependency tied, technology dependency tied. Yes, but at the same time, HAL has ensured their production, and it has actually served as the backbone of India's military aviation ecosystem. But at the same time, this has not come without any hiccups. There have been challenges, there have been issues, and this is where we need to understand that what went wrong. What went wrong was that because it was the only place which could help in terms of manufacturing, we saw with time that there were multiple delays. And especially when we are looking at delays at indigenous programs, it hampers our defense capabilities. Apart from that, we saw there were extremely slow production rate. Now, apart from that, what you have seen that there have been time overruns in major project, be it when we are talking about light combat helicopter, Tejas projects. All of this has led to a major worry for especially Indian Air Force that the timely fleet replacement that they were looking forward to, that will not be possible. Because we already know MiG-21 has been retired, MiG-27 when we are looking at it, that has already been retired, Jaguar, there is already planned phase out that we have set in future, and then what we have is Mirage 2000. Now Mirage 2000 needs midlife upgrades which are already underway, which leaves us deficient in terms of fleet. And when we are looking at our counterparts, when we are looking at China, inducting 200 J-20 fighter aircrafts, this is where this becomes a worry. And because we have put all our eggs in one basket, that is HAL, if it is not able to deliver, if there is any issue, it is overburdened, it is understaffed, then that needs to be addressed. And that is what government is trying to address through privatization. Bringing in private players so as to address all of these concerns so that there is faster delivery, the Air Force requirements are met, and also building an aerospace ecosystem so that there is not an over dependence on a single manufacturer, and we have multiple defense champions, which will also enable India's dream of being a world-class defense exporter. If we are not able to manufacture enough for our own needs, how can we think about exporting? And that is why with this, we are not just expecting better, faster execution, better project management, stronger supply chains, and better private investment. We are also expecting that this ecosystem will bring in innovation and promote competition, which is much needed given the research and development is still limited in multiple aspects, be it defense or others. So in this case, it does seem like a fair idea that we are opening the space for more players and see if this idea performs. But at the same time, another question, another dimension that we need to understand clearly here is that private sector seems promising, but will it actually deliver? And if it will deliver, what has been promised? So let us understand what has been promised. As of now, from this, we are expecting prototype development. 5 flying prototypes will be delivered, 1 structural test aircraft will be delivered. Apart from that, they will be responsible for creation of new aerospace complex at Puttaparthi, that is in Andhra Pradesh. Very important from the perspective of prelims. Then when we are looking at deliverables, another important deliverable here is technology integration. That how stealth structures would be made, avionics, sensors, mission systems, weapons integration. It is not just about the aircraft, but the technology that is being sought in that aircraft needs to be integrated, and this will be done with constant consultation, coordination with ADA, DRDO and Indian Air Force. So yes, private sector has got the seat, but the deliverables are outmarked, coordination and discussion is also outmarked. The government has not only given the framework, the government has also highlighted the key features they are expecting. They are expecting that there will be stealth technology. That means the detection by the radar would be very limited or non-existent. There will be internal weapon base which will be present. Advanced combat systems have been mentioned, such as AESA radars, sensor fusions, electronic warfare capabilities, and also understanding that this will enable us, give us benefits such as countering China's J-20, reducing our dependence, enhancing indigenous R&D and everything. But as I said that we have understood the deliverable, but the question is how likely is the deliverable to come out? That we can understand through challenges which are consistent and which have been present in our defense manufacturing scenario. First being the engine technology. When we are talking about India, it still lacks a fully indigenous high thrust fighter engine. So this is going to be a big question for the private departments, private companies, that how that will be ensured. Apart from that, stealth manufacturing. When we are talking about key features which are expected are one of the stealth manufacturing. This requires not only advanced materials, but at the same time precision engineering. Then private companies have to also adhere to timeline. Timeline is risky here because a lot is dependent. So when we are looking at prototype, they have been given only 4 years, which begins from 2028 to 2032. Induction is after 2025. So this is a very tight timeline for an efficient, innovative space as well. And at the same time, this timeline is also a challenge, because if the deliverables do not come in this timeline, then as I said, our fleet replacement will put us in a deficient place, which puts national security at risk. Apart from that, when we are talking about challenges itself, we have to also consider that how in the coming time this will lead to higher cost. Because when we are talking about 5th generation fighter jets, the advanced technology that we are eyeing as of now, they are expensive. How will India manage that kind of budget allocation in such difficult times, when we are looking at higher trade deficits, higher fiscal deficits, and so much more? And one thing that we are praising that private sector is going to coordinate, coordination in itself remains a challenge. So what will unfold of the step that has been taken remains still a question mark. But yes, if it falls in order, this is the starting point of transformation of the defense manufacturing industry in our country, not just in context of entering of private players, but starting the AMC, because this is not just a fighter aircraft project, this is an attempt by India to build a global space, a global mark in this very industry. Now that was all from my side. I'll be leaving you here with the prelims practice question. Let me know the answer to this in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.